I'm picturing in my head that literally a sponsor goes, today's the day. I think I'm going to pick a car. Yeah. And they go to the track with a case of hats, a signed contract, and they're like, whoever wins the race today, we're going to
That's my car.
Oh, wow. Cole Trickle's first race. There's his owner. Here's your hats. Sign
Here,
this.
Tim.
Like that cannot be how this works.
I know. It's like let's think about that. Like they're up in like the box suite, right? And like
on top of an
spent
RV,
like some of his last money just like on top of an RV.
That's what it looks like.
You're right. And he's like, and he's got sponsors. Like people are coming in, and he's just like, all right, hey, no. Feeling really good about today. No, they've had some great conversations with my guys.
He told them how to not burn the tires up.
Cole knows about tires now. He's like, he's got the 2 tires in his suite that he's like, see, look what he used to do. This is what he's doing now.
And he shaved 6 seconds off his
way,
time.
my way.
Yeah, so should be good. And then he crashed. He's like, oh God! And the sponsors are just like,
no,
not today, Tim.
No, he's holding hands with Mellow Yellow, and as he crashes Mellow Yellow, let's go.
Oh gosh! He's like, come on, Cole, trickle into our hearts.
Well, hello and welcome to the Confused Breakfast. Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
Yeehaw.
It's hard to beat the ease of the modern era and streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your house, but there was something truly special about spending 10 hours out in the hot sun of summer watching cars turn left and then heading to Blockbuster on the way home to pick out a movie to watch when you get home. On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from that magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me, as always, 2 dudes who have the same sickness. It's called denial, and it's probably going to kill them both. Sean Pryor and AJ Vance, how the heck are you?
Probably not wrong, honestly. Yeah, I just haven't gotten the formal diagnosis yet.
It's denial.
So it's denial. You've got. I'm sorry, but it's denial. Oh my God! It can't be.
How
there it
serious
goes
is it?
again. It's like.
Denial, isn't that a river in Africa?
Denial.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I just got a new couch, and I'm in denial that how much that's going to cost me
Yeah.
while doing a wedding. Yay.
And paying taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dudes, on today's episode, we can forget all about life's troubles because we're going to discuss a movie that taught us all that rubbin is indeed racin'. A movie nominated for an Oscar? A movie that was essentially Top Gun, but with race cars? A movie that was peak middle tooth Tom Cruise?
Oh, yeah.
I could not look at anything else when he was on the screen.
It was glaring.
The best movie ever made about NASCAR?
Yeah.
Well,
We're, of course, talking about 1990's Days of Thunder. Let's go, baby.
Well, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time
Yeah.
for another nostalgic journey to the past
midnight.
with the Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
Well, we are going to discuss this movie with a modern eye, but first we got to talk about it with nostalgialism, and we got to talk about it with nostalgic eyes. AJ, tell us the first time you saw Days of Thunder, what your thoughts were on the movie, please.
So when I was a kid, my dad liked NASCAR. Okay,
Nuh-uh.
he would like he dug NASCAR. He was a car guy. Yeah.
All dads?
Isn't that just a dad trait?
Yeah.
It's either golf or NASCAR. One of those is going to be on the TV with
Yes.
him asleep in front of it, regardless. No, but he really liked NASCAR, and we eventually actually did go to Talladega when Ricky Bobby was being filmed, and Will Ferrell went, and he actually said, "Gentlemen, start your engines."
No shit.
It's pretty dope.
That is cool.
But I'm talking about all that because I've never seen Days of Thunder.
Whoa.
So I'm a big old NA. That's all I got.
Sean, what about you, man?
I sat down to watch this with my fiance about 2 years ago. She had seen it and said, you got to see this movie. You're a movie guy. You got to see this movie.
It was like your first date.
You're a movie guy.
Yeah.
You like movies?
And about halfway through, I fell asleep. So I'm going to say I'm an NA on this too.
So you pulled your wife
Yes,
or
exactly.
your fiance.
Well, we
That's what you
both
did.
fell asleep.
Okay, all right.
I got infected with the disease.
Well, I'm gonna save mine to see if we can go 4 for 4, because Starling, we got an executive producer today. He said, "How did I miss the '90s without ever seeing Days of Thunder?"
Oh, no.
It's right up my childhood's alley, especially when your dad used to sit in a pickup truck, driver's door ajar, listening to radio broadcasts of races for hours on Sundays. That actually sounds really
That
nice.
sounds cool.
NASCAR was boring then, and it hasn't gotten much more appealing to me now. This is why I am also goose eggs for Talladega Nights and cars.
Whoa.
I do respect the talent it takes to excel in this sport, but my NASCAR fandom peaked when I waited on Jeff Gordon once in a restaurant in Charlotte, and I found out the NASCAR Hall of Fame building is the exterior on Homeland. I was shocked to see this win the Patreon vote so clearly. I must be missing something. I have an open mind, and I'm looking forward to seeing this classic. So NA for Starling. Can we go 4 for 4 for the first time ever?
Do we have it?
Yeah, right. I
Oh.
loved this movie, dudes.
All right, fine.
I'm a 9.5 on this nostalgically.
Really?
I had all the Matchbox cars. I had everything. I had the Hardee's one, the Mellow Yellow one, the Superflow, the City. Like, used to pretend like I was Cole Trickle, just like I did in Remember in Top Gun on the playground? Me and my buddies used to act out the fight scenes.
The
Sure.
volleyball
Same thing for Days of Thunder. We used to like act out the racing scenes in recess as like third graders. I love this movie. Bought the VHS. Something about the cover art of this movie does something to me.
Yeah,
It really affects me like the same way we hear like an 80s song.
Yeah.
Looking at this cover affects me in a weird way. So I'm a 9.5. As a group, we are a 9.5.
Look at that.
And I don't have my computer in front of me, so we don't know where that stacks up.
Nope.
Oh.
Probably top 10, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter because we're
No.
going to strip it away. We're going to talk about it with a modern day eye. From here on out, Sean's going to get us the details of the movie, all the important ones. What do you got, man?
Let's do it. Produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, Don Simpson, and Gerald Molen. Story by Robert Towne and Tom Cruise. Screenplay by Robert Towne. He also wrote The Firm, Mission Impossible, McCabe and Mrs. Miller, and Oscar-winning Chinatown. Music by Hans Zimmer. Don't know who that is. Cinematography by Ward Russell. He also did episodes of The X-Files or the movie. I'm not sure. But he also did The Last Boy Scout, which I believe is another Tony Scott film, which this film is directed by as well, Tony Scott. Cast: Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, Robert Duvall, Randy Quaid, Michael Rooker, Carrie Elways, Fred Thompson, John C. Reilly, Caroline Williams, Chris Ellis, Margot Martindale, J.C. Quinn, and Don Simpson. Producers Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer were legitimate juggernauts in Hollywood as far as making money was concerned. After the success of Flashdance, Top Gun, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, Paramount Pictures gave the duo $300 million to make any 5 movies they wanted. This deal gave Simpson and Bruckheimer complete freedom on everything. The final scripts for the films didn't even need to be approved by Paramount. The first film they were to focus on was Days of Thunder. Unprecedented kind of deal. When I read that, I'm like, this is going to be a disaster. And, well, let me tell you how much of it was. Tom Cruise got the idea for Days of Thunder when he and Paul Newman got to test one of Rick Hendrick's race cars, I assume while filming The Color of Money. Don Simpson hired writer Robert Towne to come in and write a cohesive screenplay adhering to the high concept formula. I don't know if you have any of this, AJ, with Raj, but I'm going to break down what Raj breaks down very, very elegantly. There are 9 rules when making a high concept movie, and these are his rules. He says, 1, the Cruise character, invariably a young and naive but naturally talented kid who could be the best if ever he could tame his rambunctious spirit. 2, the mentor, an older man who has done it himself and has been there before and knows talent when he sees it, and who has faith in the kid even when the kid screws up because his free spirit has gotten the best of him. The superior woman, usually older, taller, and more mature than Cruise character, who functions as a mentor for his spirit, while the male mentor supervises his craft. 4, the craft, which the gifted young man must master. 5, the arena in which the young man is tested. 6, the Arcana, consisting of the specialized knowledge and lore that the movie knows all about, and we get to learn. 7, the Trail, a journey to visit the principal places where the masters of the craft test one another. 8, the Proto-Enemy, the bad guy in the opening reels of the movie, who provides the hero with an opponent to practice on. At first, the Cruz character and the Proto-Enemy dislike each other, but eventually, through a baptism of fire, they learn to love one another. And 9, the Eventual Enemy, a real bad guy who turns up in the closing reels to provide the hero with a test of his skill, his learning ability, his love, his craft, and knowledge of the arena and the Arcana. He kind of fucking nailed it.
Kind of nails it.
The production was a bit tumultuous for the core creatives on set. While Tony Scott was hired to direct the film, Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer, and Robert Towne would interfere in almost every shot of every setup that Tony had created with his cinematographer. This made the film go way over schedule, which in turn made the film go way over budget. It was said that sometimes the crew would just sit around while the core argued, racking up enough overtime to go on vacation for at least 16 weeks. Simpson and Bruckheimer, thinking that they were untouchable in Hollywood, spent $1 million of the film's budget on converting a portion of a condo into a gym with a big neon sign visible from the beach of Daytona that reads Days of Thunder. Simpson had 2 cocaine assistants to get him cocaine, and the pair had other assistants to get cute girls from the beach to come to their almost nightly parties in which Tone Loc would perform. While they thought they were the shit, they were actually, as in Nicole Kidman's words, infantile egomaniacs.
I mean, clearly.
Days of Thunder was released on June 27th, 1990, and on an original budget of close to $25 million, which inflated to $60 million. The film made $157.9 million at the box office, which ended that 5-picture deal with Paramount and pretty much ended the 80s movie as we know it. And it was also nominated for Best Sound.
So I want to get this right. So profiting 70 to 80 million is bad.
In those terms, yeah, because
Okay,
it was
gotcha.
because they inflated it so much. It was only, I mean, it would have been a huge profit if it was the original budget of 25.
Oh yeah, because like 80 million's like way more than like 40 million.
Yeah.
Well, you have to look at pictures like Flashdance and Top Gun, like what they did.
Yeah.
Huge profits, and then this one's just like a little better profit.
Ew.
We need to end this.
Good. I'm glad it ended. AJ, we're going to move on to you. We got to get critics and fans and ratings and reviews and all that stuff. What do you got, man?
I know it when I see it. It's the tomato meter. Gross. Did that because Robert Duvall is my favorite person in this movie.
I know it.
Shut up, baby. I know it. Can we go with a 38%? Big ol' splat.
Ooh. That is tied with Armageddon per the critics.
Okay.
And I have another tie-in with Armageddon later that we'll talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that. 60% from the audience. That was a decent little discrepancy. They felt a little bit more positive about this. IMDb is coming in at a 6.1.
On all the movies we've done, Caddyshack is slightly better. The Mummy is slightly worse, per the fans.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's how they feel.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's see, guys. We usually start with some critics in here, and I'm fine to do that again. Let's go with the top of the charts. How about the Washington Post gave this an 80 out of 100. Thunder is exactly what it promises to be. Not much, but at dizzying speed, stripped down and free of wind resistant subtlety. There's a certain integrity to that, a certain deafening integrity. Fair.
Spoiler.
Oscar now? Ooh, okay.
It's
No.
on the back of a car.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler.
Oh, nice, dude.
Get it?
Yep. So, Gene Siskel. Gene Siskel had this to say. 75 out of 100, 3 out of 4. Chicago Tribune. Days of Thunder, the latest Tom Cruise movie, which is a flimsy but nonetheless compelling story of a hotshot amateur race car driver who wants to make it in the big-time world of championship stock car racing. It's good writing by Robert Towne and a host of strong supporting performances. Performances complement the on-the-track visuals of director Tony Scott. in giving us a sense of the leap of faith that is required by drivers at this level. Thanks, Gene.
Thanks, Jeannie.
I wanted to go bad. I'll just save that for the fans. Why not, right? This one was called Dear God. 1 out of 10.
Wait, is this like Dear God?
Dear God.
Like we're having a conversation with God, or Dear God?
I think it's...
Is it pulling your glasses off? Oh my God.
Dear God.
I kind of hope it's a prayer, but keep going. Dear God.
Dear God, said Bart Arts 82. This is in 2017. Warning, spoilers. Like the car.
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
one, dude. Good job.
Yeah,
I like that. This is written from a point of view of a racing fan. I won't address the other aspects of the movie. All right. I saw this movie today for the first time, and it is just ridiculous. I mean, after the race is over, he drives into the pits, requests new tires, goes back on track, and crashes into the race winner on purpose. I'm not really familiar with NASCAR, but I'm pretty sure that would get you a lifelong ban for that. Also, the scene where he explains Nicole Kidman that they're developing a little thing called drafting. Early on in the movie, we're told that Tom Cruise doesn't know anything about cars, but drafting is part of the absolute basics of racing. It would be like watching a movie about soccer and the main character says they're developing a little thing called scoring a goal. As a movie, I'd probably give it a 6, but the racing part is just so awful. That's it.
All right.
Wow. Great. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Dear God. Love
Dear
Bart.
God. I'll go with this one, and we'll end on a good note here. Okay. Total piece of crap, said Tommy Fox F55 in 2002. I can't believe that there are so many people on here who like this movie. The racing scenes are ridiculous. It is impossible to crash into another car 6 times on one lap and keep going. In NASCAR, any type of incident will normally end your chances of winning the race. Not in this movie. The plot contains stories that we've seen 1,000 times in other movies, and all 1,000 have been done better than this. I give it a 1 out of 10, only because Nicole is in it.
Oh.
Yeah, buddy.
So
I feel that.
That's why. We did have somebody from the Little Lebowski Urban Achievers
Yeah, right.
drop on in. Kirlana Wilson had this to say. I never had cable growing up, but I distinctly remember watching this on HBO when staying over at a friend's house when I was a teenager. And I don't remember most of it, just the vague sense of the excitement and pressure I felt surrounding it. I would give my nostalgic rating a 7 for the cool factor, but have never rewatched as an adult for a modern day rating.
Okay.
So,
Carolina, you're in for a big old treat.
you're in for a treat, Carolina.
Give it another watch.
Appreciate that,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Join in, Little Lebowski.
Yeah, you guys listen to the show. You love it. One of the best ways to support us is to go to patreon.com/confusedbreakfast. Tons of different tiers. We got a bonus live watch party that we try to do every month. You can join the Little Lebowski Urban Achievers. You can actually input your stuff into an exclusive thread that we read on air. Tons of great stuff. And that is how you help us out.
Yeah, buddy.
Patreon.com/confusedbreakfast.
Do it.
Well, boys, we messed up big time last week. I had sponsors at my house listening to our episode. I was hugging and holding hands and praying for a good episode. And instead, we ended up sounding like a monkey fucking a football. Ooh. Everybody out, except you two.
Oh.
I'm dropping the hammer. Here we go.
Let's go, baby.
So scene 1. Chevrolet dealership tycoon Tim Dallin wants to start a NASCAR team because, of course, you just start a NASCAR
Whatever.
team.
Duh.
He's found a driver but needs to recruit former crew chief and car builder Harry Hogg to lead the team. They book a private test run for Dalin's young driver named Cole Trickle. He impresses everyone and in veteran driver Rowdy Burns' car. So Harry Hogg agrees to build him a car. All right,
Great.
First things first. I want to know what you think about the score, like the music, Hans Zimmer in this, because for me as a child, like this was almost part of the movie, like this, and you can tell it's Hans Zimmer, just the horns.
Yep. You can tell he's getting to his like droney horn
Yes.
section
Yeah.
Yes,
in the
dude.
90s at this point. Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I mean, obviously it's Hans Zimmer.
Can I make it about space? No, it's a car movie. Can I make it a little spacey?
Fine. Jesus.
Can you make it more about cars? Just a little space? All right, fine.
It's so good. It's like you're combining the 80s with a space movie somehow. It's like I don't know. The only complaint I have modern day is that we don't get anything else. We get this song, and then like that's kind of
They
it.
kind of hide the rest of the score. With
Yeah,
the rest of it,
songs.
nothing. It never changes.
Like
I want more.
even like longing, like kind of romantic shots still bring back. It's sexy now.
Just slows down.
It's just like no, it's not just
chopped and
slow.
screwed.
It's like this is not sexy music, Hans.
I like the whole intro. Like obviously, like we talk about all the other Scott films that we've covered.
Yeah.
Tony Scott. That like I love his camera work. I love his direction. I just love his movies in general. And then speaking of general, you just get a blatant shot of a Confederate flag. I'm like, oh,
Multiple times.
Go to the general and save some time.
what the hell was that?
And hey, by the way, like we talk about this all the time. We are not the podcast to be like, they need to recut this movie and take out No, this was the South NASCAR culture when this movie was made. So like, it's fine. It is what it is. You know, like that's what was in this movie. But yeah, it's like go kind of like when you hear certain words used in movies that were made in the 80s. Like yeah, okay.
Yeah, zing. Yeah.
I was kind of falling asleep. Let's
go past that part.
Okay. All right. Well, thank God it didn't last that long.
Move on. Cut, please. Move on.
I think Tony Scott might be like a master of B-roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I
Great
think that's
call.
where I feel Tony Scott, because he brings you into the environment, like the feeling, the warmth, like the heat, the everything. Like it's like this almost sunrise, and it's like everything. And he moves in through all this so fast. Like it's like today is race day, you know, and it just brings you into like today is race day. B-roll of like the track and the fans and the drivers and all that good stuff. I think it's great. I like the intro a lot, actually.
The thing I still love about this movie is the warm vibe that the cinematography gives you. There's like it's almost like there's a filter in this movie that just makes everything. It just warms the screen up a little bit.
It's like not sepia tone, but it's kind of that vibe-ish. You know, I don't know.
It's
it looks great.
Especially like if you're on ground level with the camera and like, you know, the car's whipping by the camera and then you see the sky as well. It's almost like the sky is like tainted with a little bit of oil. It's got like, I don't know. And then like, I think Michael Bay took a lot from that, where just like all of his films look like that now.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just, you described it perfectly. I think, especially with like Top Gun, that was really hard because it's a lot of aerial stuff, and like now he's literally grounded and like makes it look so fucking intense. You know? Which, you know, you're in the stands, you're just seeing cars go by, whatever, and then he's right there, cars flying by the camera. It really works.
It does. It's just it's warm. It's got that grain, that 80s 90s grain.
Even the 4K Ultra that I watched was like it still had like the graininess to it, and it felt great.
Yeah, like if they somehow cleared that off, it would do a disservice to the movie. Yeah.
So I need to know what your thoughts are. When I watched this a million times as a kid, I didn't really care about all the plot holes in this movie. And just the fastness that they just go through. Yeah, here's what we're doing. Whatever. Who cares, dumb kid?
Yep.
Did you, since this is your first watch, I mean, are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking on rewatch now of like, oh, okay, there's a guy, he owns a car dealership, and he's going to put together a NASCAR team because it's really easy to do that, I'm sure, to just have the money in a car dealership to be able to go, I'm going to do a NASCAR team.
Well,
and then to have, to know this driver, Cole Trickle, who's, we learn has been winning all these races. Why? And we'll eventually figure out why he lost his ride, but why is another team not going, oh yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I got you, because he's really good. And then you got Harry Hogg here, who's like less than a year ago, his driver crashed. And he said what does Tim come up and he goes, basically, he's like, yeah, I know you quit to avoid investigation into his death.
Oh,
it's like,
whoa. Thanks for that backhanded exposition. Jesus.
But also, that's not how that works. if you might be liable for someone's death, you can't just be like, well, I quit then. And they're like, oh, guess we can't interview you anymore. I guess we can't investigate.
Case closed.
Yeah. Oh, darn it. We almost had him.
Shoot. We almost got to question him about the death of his driver, but now we can't because he's on a farm.
Yeah. He decided to take his leave, I guess. Well, I guess, get out while you're still ahead. Huh? Like, I don't think that's how it works there, Harry.
So does any of that, like, do you care watching this for the first time? Or you're just like, whatever, I'm into the story. Let's go.
I didn't care. And that's kind of what will be my main gripe about this film as we move forward is that it makes you, the movie cares a lot about it. And it cares to tell you over and over and over again about meaningless stuff. Is like all we are here for is Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise, and cars.
Yeah,
right.
That's it. And it's not a lot of that. There's a lot of there's a lot of talking scenes which really don't matter. And this movie, like people say, it's the Top Gun, but for race car movies or whatever. It should have been that. It's not that. It really isn't. Like it should have been like just airplane porn. Just NASCAR porn.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll talk about it later. I have a pretty strong, convincing argument that this is the exact same movie as Top Gun.
Sure.
Kind of like you did with, was that Ebert?
Yeah, Ebert.
Yeah, there's even more that I came up with, but I agree with you. Like, it just, if Top Gun was selling you on going into the Navy and the Air Force, Days of Thunder should have been selling you on going to a NASCAR race.
Exactly.
But it really doesn't sell you on going to a NASCAR race.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't crash.
Be a better person.
But also it's fine.
Do what you think you're good at, even though you're not in the right place to do it. That's what I think it is. I think if we're going to compare this of like it's the same movie and based off of Raj's 9 things.
Rules, yeah.
9 rules. No, this movie is basically Karate Kid.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's
Wait, what?
That's it.
That's the high concept formula he's talking about.
Yeah, you're talking about you're talking about kind of the hero, the cruise hero, which you just replace that word with shorter guy hero, and then you have the taller woman who lead.
Okay,
great. You have the wise old man. He's finding his reasons that he wants to get that he needs to learn this skill. You're right. Harry Hogg is just Harry Miyagi, and he just Miyagi's Cole Trickle into this sport instead. Miyagi Hogg. He just Miyagi Hogs him all day, and we got the bad guy coming around. We got then the real bad guy coming around. I mean, it's dude.
Right at the end, they kind of become friends. He gives him the trophy.
He gives him the trophy. I mean, he just
okay.
It's basically Karate Kid.
I mean, and this is the era, right? Okay, so let's talk about it. Here's my Top Gun Days of Thunder being the same movie. Cole and Maverick are trying to escape the shadow and legacy of their father. They both find a surrogate father figure in Viper and Harry. They're talented, but they're cocky and reckless. They both ride motorcycles to work. Both fall in love with strong professional women who try to deny Tom Cruise's advances to where finally he's like, yeah, what's going on? And then that's when they like throw themselves at him and like push him against a wall. The initial rival now becomes friends with him while the real threat arrives later on, being Russ Wheeler. Now him and Rowdy are friends. They both freeze up in the final confrontation only to snap out of it after flashbacks to then win it all. It's literally, this formula is just going around in circles on all these movies.
But then you get a writer like Robert Towne to write this one, and he's like, oh, I want it to be kind of intellectual, where it should have just been cocaine fueled. Yeah. And been like all in on like the cheese factor.
I think they fell in the middle, and that might have been the problem. Is they didn't go that way or full on the other way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a formula. It's a formulaic movie. It's okay. I think that there's enough coming out of this movie, like in the beginning. I think it just honestly kind of pulls me back to we want to set a stage for you, like they do with Top Gun the same way on the air carrier and that kind of stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
They
kind of did that with the intro.
They kind of did that with the intro, and it's kind of it's a little bit of a cold open, if you will. We'll call this nice warm open. Ooh, it felt good.
Nice.
But But yeah, and then you kind of jump in, and it's like, and then you just get Tim talking to Harry, and it's like first. It's all wrong because he's gonna walk out in that field? You ever walked through a tilled field? Have you ever done that?
Yes. While they're spraying fertilizer.
You're gonna break your ankles 3 times trying to do that. Spraying fertilizer, spraying's for something. You don't want to be around that. He's not going to walk out there with that, and you're not gonna have a conversation next to that tractor.
Nope.
It's just not going to happen, guys. Harry, I need you. I need the best. Well, I'm retired. Well, I want you. I already cleared it up because I'm a hell of a salesman. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Yes.
And there we go.
Do you like Quaid in this movie?
Of course.
I love Quaid. I will always love Quaid. However, it makes
He's
sense.
not crazy enough for me in this movie.
It makes sense that he is what sounds like is a used car salesman.
Oh, yeah.
Not a high-end dealership
Multi-millionaire.
guy.
Yeah. Like, sounds like he's got $1,000 in his bank account. He's like, I'm gonna start a NASCAR.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I got
Always
the driver.
wanted to.
I spent all my money on renting this track for a couple laps.
I'll just
$2,500.
leverage the dealership. Like that's fine, whatever. I don't know.
What do we think about? Do you guys watch NASCAR or have you watched NASCAR? Are you allowed to hit the other people?
Sean,
There's bumping that happens. It does happen, but you're not supposed to do it like this. At least not anymore. I don't know.
I can't imagine NASCAR fans actually like watching this movie and being like, yeah. Because like I have a feeling this is nothing what NASCAR really is.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the feedback. If you watch this as a NASCAR fan, you're not going to like it because
None of it's believable.
when there's like there are times like we'll just get it out of the way. Bumping into people like several times,
On
like
purpose.
doing it on purpose, like nudging people, the rubbing as they call it. If you do that enough, then they will black flag you.
Yeah.
If you're pushed into the wall too much, if you got too much stuff coming off your car, if your car's not in good enough condition, if you spin out, there's always going to be a yellow flag when there's a spin out. They will stop, like they will halt everything to a yellow flag. That doesn't happen half the time in this. Like they just keep letting it go. They're just like, keep going. He's fine. He's fine. He spun out, but he can get back into third just like that.
It'll
Yeah.
take him maybe 2 laps. He'll be back to third
Whatever.
place. Don't worry
I think
about it.
maybe the most accurate thing about that they portrayed for NASCAR in this is the names. Like Buck Bretherton,
Yeah.
Cole Trickle, Rowdy Burns, Darrell Waltrip.
Well,
I think I heard Terry Smuckers.
Darrell Waltrip is a real guy.
Okay. Yes. Duke Chandler, Chilton Dominguez, Richard Dickel, Kyle Unleaded, Seth Quilter. Just come up with something like
Kyle Gearshift.
There you go.
Mark Rubbin.
Duck Felter.
Well, there is a real, like, that's what I love so much. There's a real guy named Dick Trickle.
Dick
Yes.
Trickle.
Like, that is unbelievable.
It's a rather unfortunate name to have as a child and all the way through your adult years.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
and
we'll
what-
just go with Richard.
Yeah,
man.
what you
Like,
never understand is, like, their name Richard, you can always just be like, hey, guys, I'm not going to be Dick anymore. I'm
Yeah.
Richard. Richard Trickle.
I think
Rick Trickle.
Well, I can't spell that well, so it's Dick.
It would be
Ditchard.
a wonderful game to play of like pick the false name. Okay.
Here's 4 names. Tell me which one is not a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, pick the one that's not the NASCAR driver. And if you had Rowdy Burns next to Rusty Wallace,
Russ Wheeler.
Chilton Dominguez.
Chilton Dominguez, and Bobby Labonte,
You gotta pick the fake one.
and you got to pick the fake one. Like you would have a fucking tough time if you knew nothing about racing.
Well, if you're talking about like NASCAR and this is not how it works, you cannot. As a kid, I believe this with all my heart because I love Tom Cruise, and you see the way he comes in on his motorcycle. And he looks so. This is peak Tom Cruise hair for me. Maybe
Yeah, definitely.
I love his hair in this, but he shows up and he's never driven a stock car ever. He's never been in a car. He knows nothing about cars. He gets in a car that is meant to go pretty much the exact same speed as every other car, and he drives it faster than any other professional driver in this trial lap. That is not believable in any way, shape,
What
or
do
form.
I got? I just gotta press the gas and steer.
Oh, just go?
I can do this shit.
So I'll go faster than anyone else that's a professional that's been doing this all their life. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Oh, sorry. Did I break it? Oh God.
And then
Oh,
Harry,
geez.
Harry even says, like, I know that ain't a race car driver. I can tell by looking at him. It's like, So the physical look of a person can tell Harry Hogg whether or
I've
not.
seen enough.
Do I look like a race car driver?
No.
Okay.
You don't.
Okay.
I think Harry Hogg would have been like, nah.
He
Not
ain't
that
got
guy.
he ain't got the stones.
He probably likes movies and has a podcast.
Yeah. Why don't you go play your inside?
He's probably about to talk about me talking to a skeleton of a car on a podcast.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on here, guys?
Do you not like this? Come on.
I think it's
You can be honest in
delightfully
this room.
fucking ridiculous.
There's a lot of feel. I don't know. I would like to know if like NASCAR or maybe race car people in general, right? Like in the industry, in that industry, if they are kind of this superstitious, you know, I would like to know that.
I'm sure.
Like
I'm sure
goalies
there's
hit
got to
their
be
posts or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
I think the
Like-
majority of professional athletes are some sort of superstitious.
If you're at some sort of this sort of
Yes.
level, right? Like you're
not a little
probably
stitch.
yeah, just a little bit.
And just to clarify, he says like you've been racing open wheel for however long, and he's apparently very good at. And I had to look it up. So they're talking about like F1, right?
No. I think they're talking like sprint cars kind of thing. You know, like those cars. They're really small and they got the big tires in the back and the small in the front, like dirt track stuff. That's what I picture.
Oh, okay.
Like drag race?
I don't know
what the fuck.
I don't think you can go. I don't think you can. I think your next step is like F1 IndyCar from NASCAR. I
Yeah.
think that's the peak, right?
Okay. I'm not sure. I feel like they never specify.
Well, remember when he's looking at the track later on in the movie and he's longingly going, remember the old days? Like that kind of car is what I picture.
Which
he
one
used
can
to
you
drive.
drink while doing?
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
NASCAR.
I'll go with NASCAR.
I think any of them.
Sick.
I think you can't do F1 that way because like it's just so tight. You know, you can't do.
You got
that.
your video game controller
Yeah.
for the
You gotta
steering
have
wheel.
your Mirthmobile straw
Yeah,
come down.
all you can do is have like a straw that goes up and then a catheter that goes out.
Yeah,
That's all you got to do.
In and out.
In and out. But I don't
No,
know.
we're still talking about Robert Duvall here.
That's
Listen,
fine.
Okay.
I think Robert Duvall is the best part of this movie.
I think he is too. I think honestly, and this could be a stretch because I'm a big Robert Duvall fan. This could be one of his best acting roles.
I think so.
You know, and I think of it in like acting roles in the way of like, sure, he does like some westerns, he does some great westerns, he does like some like Cool Hand Luke, he does. Just had to bring that back.
Gone
It's
in
been a
60
while.
Seconds.
Gone to 60 Seconds, great western. But I think about that too, like. And that, I think Gone in 60 Seconds is a great comparison because he's very different as Otto in Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, totally.
Than he is here. But here, he's even got mannerisms. He's got mouth ticks. He's got, he's very dialed into this character, it feels like. And I think it's a very good portrayal of somebody in this position, you
Yeah.
know?
I like him a lot.
He's just such a lovable face. Like this whole talking to the car, and like I just buy it. I fully buy it that he's the best car builder in the business, and that he's like, I'm gonna do this to you, baby. Like talk. It's like referring to the car as a woman, like referring to a boat as a woman. Like there's a personality to it, right? And you got to treat it as such. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a big fan of that.
I wanted to draw a connection between Harry Hogg and Otto in Gone in 60 Seconds, but I was like, they're two very. This is honestly why I didn't, because they're very different characters.
You never know, man.
Even though they both like cars. Sorry, you got to do a little bit more, right?
Maybe that once now that he's back in NASCAR, the investigation can start over again on
Yeah.
Harry Hogg.
Oh yeah.
And
He
so
becomes a criminal.
Yep. And so
Yeah.
they basically find out that yes, indeed, he did crooked things to these cars to make them go faster, and he cheated, and he was the reason that Buddy Brotherton died. So he went to jail. Old man, though, they sent him to jail for like 5 years, and it's fine. And in prison, he became bitter and like learned the criminal ways and
Yeah.
said, when I get out, I'm gonna put my car use to real use.
Yeah.
You know,
Instead
like
of-
my knowledge.
Instead of building them, I'm tearing them down to
So-
chop shop.
Yeah. So then he became
Otto.
Otto from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
you go.
Yes.
Had to change his name, obviously.
And then obviously
Because people were like, Harry Hogg, I
No,
remember
no,
you.
no,
Not
no.
me. No,
moved
no.
out west after the whole gumball thing, you know, and like he went out west, out to L.A.
Whatever happened to
Met a
Cole
guy
Trickle?
named Memphis.
He died.
He's dead.
Yeah, he died.
He,
He got in a motorcycle accident the night after he won the Daytona 500.
Yeah,
Wild.
turns out it turns out he just had some bad habits.
His
and he was
girlfriend, a doctor, was on the back.
Yeah,
went back to school, was in military academy, and just started
Wait, no,
bartending. Just started bartending in New York. You know?
No.
Wait a second.
But this movie's basically a cocktail. I did one last thing. Margot Martindale, the girl keeping the time or whatever. She's in Dewey Cox, and John C. Reilly's in this movie too. I just thought that was just such a great thing. She's his mom in Dewey Cox.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, and so they're here in this movie together. Kind of
Well,
fun.
this is actually apparently her. If you look at the Jarrett Lay Off Me, I'm Starving, Confused Breakfast actor database, she and Carrie Elways is their third movie they've been in that we've done, apparently. But number one being Tom Cruise. This is his fifth now. He's moving up. I don't know when our next Tom Cruise movie might be.
Where's
but
Michael Rooker at? 4?
I know.
He's got to be close.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have my computer.
Mallrats.
I think he
Cliffhanger.
He's only at 3 then.
Okay.
I think as well.
3 might make sense.
Yeah.
I did want to take a second maybe to talk about him because I like Michael Rooker in this a lot, actually. It's meant to be Dale Earnhardt. Did you guys see that?
No.
It's meant to be. They actually approached Dale Earnhardt Sr. about being Rowdy Burns, but he didn't want to be a bad guy. He didn't want to portray like a bad guy in a movie, so they did not go with him. They brought in Michael Rooker.
I'm fine with
Michael
that.
Rooker it is, yeah.
I thought he was great, and I think he's a great kind of red herring of a bad guy.
Yeah, I love him.
I think this is a great place for him to be. I think it's exactly where he needs to be in a movie.
Yeah.
As a red herring bad guy.
Yeah. I like the fact where he's Cole takes his car out and drives in. He sits on his bike. He's like, anything happens to that car, I'm fucking up your bike.
Good.
Yeah.
And I love how they're like now remember, Rowdy, we told you that you're, and he's
now.
he's like, yeah, I kind of remember that, but I don't remember saying yes to that. But okay, a lot of pressure. Being the number one driver, fine, whatever. I'm sure we could give him our backup car. I'm sure we have a backup car, whatever. No
There's
problem.
plenty of cars in NASCAR, I imagine.
I bet
They had to get the best guy's car.
I feel like Cole Trickle's just gonna he's gonna come up and he's gonna be like, NASCAR, huh? He's like NASCAR, huh? Okay. So where's the NOS button at on the other says NASCAR. No, NASCAR.
NAS.
All right, I'll still give it a shot.
I should go.
I don't belong here.
Do you like how he walks up and gently places his bag on the hood of the car? I felt like that was kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think it kind of is too. It's like, you're going to scratch the paint,
Yeah, bro.
Come on.
That's a sponsor.
I mean, give Tony Scott again. He's like, no, he's second guessing himself, and it's just that look. The camera turns, or he's just right here, and he's the look of Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, he's
so-
a fucking movie star.
He's
God
so
damn
good
it,
at
he is.
acting, man.
I know. It's upsetting, okay? I love you, Tom Cruise. We get it.
Thanks for fixing your middle tooth.
Yeah. last thing I would say about this portion of it is the weirdness of the duster jacket. That felt very out of place for me. Tom Cruise on this motorcycle.
So the duster jacket felt out of place, but having a business collar white shirt buttoned all the way up felt fine, though.
Well, he's
You gotta set your. I mean, he's putting these layers on one after another. He put that on, so that can't feel out of place.
he's interviewing for a new job.
Bringing his own helmet.
The
didn't feel
denim's
weird.
not the denim on top is like, well, it's an interesting choice, I suppose. But then he's got the duster on it. It's like, now you're just trying to be a cowboy. You put on the collared shirt, then denim, and then a duster. It's like, are you on a steel whole time? That's like what he's got in his earbuds. He's just got Bon Jovi in his earbuds. All right, now it all makes sense. Never mind, guys.
What's up?
So,
Hey, Sean, will you open this for me while I read scene 2?
Yeah,
Fulcrum.
Scene 2. Cole has a rough start to his NASCAR career. Every race ends very badly. Cole confesses to Harry that he doesn't know anything about cars. So Harry Hogg puts him on a training course, which eventually leads to his first win and celebration.
Nice.
Tell me that this is what I meant. So all we get is that main theme song by Hans Zimmer. But, at least with Top Gun, we had the signature song moments.
Right.
And this is the only one we get. We get Gimme Some Lovin', which I love. And to this day, anytime I hear this song, I think of Days of Thunder. It's such a great placement, but it's just so weird to me we didn't get any other music. We didn't get any other featured signature songs in this
You're
movie.
right, because in this high concept formula that Raj so eloquently states out, there's a lot of them are like Flashdance. You know, there's those 2 huge songs in there. Top Gun. What's the Top Gun song?
Oh, Danger Zone, bro?
Yeah, like a huge fucking gigantic hit.
Yeah.
And all of Beverly Hills Cop has that other song too.
I'm sorry, Kenny Loggins.
There's usually in these movies like a deal with an artist to make an original song, but they didn't do it for this one, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, and it could have benefited from it. I don't know.
And I feel like they have there's a soundtrack out there that apparently has some like banger songs on it, but I just don't remember a lot of them in the movie, to be honest.
Guns N' Roses, like Knocking on Heaven's Door is on there for some reason.
weird.
Yeah.
Like, well, then put it in the movie.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always hated about this era, though. You know how like the movie would have all these great songs in it, but then you'd go to buy the soundtrack and it didn't have any of them on it.
Yeah.
And vice versa, or the soundtrack's got this great song on it, but it never made it in the movie.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I just love this montage so much of him learning how to race, and I love. This is where Robert Duvall's like character is so great to me. Is he's such a loving guy, but he gets so pissed off.
Yeah.
Like when they're like, "Oh, hey, look, we don't have to fix this side of the car."
Yeah.
And he runs up and kicks it. He goes, "I don't want you getting soft on me.
I don't want you getting spoiled or
I don't want you
anything."
getting spoiled or anything."
Dude, I agree. Because like and when he comes back in and he says, he's like, "When you get out there, I want you to hit the pace car." Hit the pace car? He's like,
Hit
hit
the
the
pace
pace car. And he's like, "What? Why?" He's like, "Because you've hit every other damn thing out there. I want you to be perfect."
He's so good. And then it leads to the ice cream.
Yeah.
No, I'm afraid that's a negative, Cole. We're eating ice cream.
Yeah. They're just, they are, that was like a real thing that happened.
Apparently,
too.
yeah.
That was taken from like,
It said in 1987 at the Southern 500, Hendrick Motorsports number 35 team and crew chief Harry Hyde, who apparently this was
Yeah.
kind of based off of Harry Hogg, and Richmond's replacement driver Benny Parsons. Like he was trying to pit, and they were like, "Sorry."
Dang.
yeah. And they were like, they came
Cold.
back around again for a lap and they were like, "Yeah, you don't get to pit." And I think it was a similar thing. It's like, there's so much damage to the car. Like, we don't even want to deal with it.
We don't even
like,
care.
we don't want to deal with you right now because you're not even running it the right way, man. And I think that's the biggest thing with Harry at this point too, is he's so frustrated because I think that's an underrated cut. It's him working on and building this car and having that intimate conversation. I'm gonna shave a half inch off you. I'm gonna give you a fuel line with an extra gallon of gas in it.
Oh my
You're gonna
God.
be a streamlined butterfly, baby, just like he does it in
Fucking
60
wet right
seconds.
now.
Like, whoop. And then all of a sudden it's just like whoop, him crashing it. And you're like, man, he's just frustrated now because like you're just doing this to my car that I
Yep.
spent so much time on.
Ooh, here's a prop.
I don't know how it hit me at the moment it hit me, but I wanted one of those nutty bars so bad. Did you see how
yeah.
good those look? The ice cream with the like the toffee around the outside and the nuts in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It hit me when I was watching him eating that. I'm like, oh,
we can
so
go
good.
get one right now.
You think we could?
Yeah.
All right, can we pause, Logan?
We're gonna pause.
All right,
Perfect.
hit pause.
Harry's entire collection of hats.
Ooh, he does got a lot of good hats.
I want all of them.
I was
me
going to say Harry's. I think it's what does it say? Petroleum or something like
Petroleum.
It's not like it doesn't say petroleum, but it says something like that.
Petrololium.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But it's the hat he wears most often.
Yeah.
That's the one I want. That's my problem.
You can have that one. I'll get all
You
the
got the
others.
rest of
Okay,
them?
cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is too where when again I talked about it in the intro where I as a kid I didn't care, but now I'm thinking about it. I want to know more. When we get this moment where Harry has to talk to Cole and he says, "Okay, listen, I want you're burning the tires. We can't finish the races. We need a sponsor. I want you to run 50 laps your way, any way you want, and then I want you to run 50 laps my way." And you're like, "Okay, cool. This will be great for Cole. He doesn't know anything about cars."
Yeah.
Cole runs his 50 laps and he pulls into the pits, and Harry he basically just goes, "Okay, now just make sure the tires don't go as bad."
Yep.
He explains. He never once says, "Here's the new method of
Here's
how
the
you should drive."
technique that you need to
Yeah.
employ.
He explains the idea behind it's like, so when you're doing it, you're getting going too much and you're burning up the tires.
Which
They
mean-
get greasy.
Yeah.
Means you're sliding all
All
over
over
the
track.
place. Oh, okay. So what do I do to not do
that's
that?
it. Go ahead, buddy. You're good to go.
All right, get out there.
He explained he knows nothing. He doesn't even comprehend what he's telling him at this point.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything about cars. Like, and that's maybe the selfish part of me is I want to know, like, oh, cool. I want to know like the intricacies of like what is the right way to drive. Like, tell me more about NASCAR.
Yeah,
Get me involved in, which is why I talk about the F1 Drive to Survive so much, because you get a lot of that inside detail of like, dude, I didn't even realize that. Holy crap. They do that? Wow.
They're running the rotary girders way too hard.
Girders?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The girders are at half power.
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
obviously these dudes running. He's running out of rear view mirror fluid.
Yeah, dude. You
Shit.
cannot run out of that.
You can't do that, dude. It dims down and then you're too light.
Yeah.
So
The engine is not good to either.
Yeah.
When your plugs are rotating,
well, you
Don't want that.
if you lose all the rubber bushing around your lug nuts, you're fucked, dude.
You're not driving.
That's what happens if you're gonna run those tires too hard. You're gonna lose all your rubber bushing.
but then as much as I want to hate on this, then a moment like this that I should equally hate happens, and I'm just like, actually, I really like it.
You know what? Yeah.
When Tim Dolan, when he finally wins his race, like he's sucked the whole year, and they don't have sponsors.
Yeah.
And then he wins it, and 5 minutes later, Tim walks down. He's like, "We got ourselves a sponsor," and he's got hats, and he's got everything. So I'm picturing in my head that literally a sponsor goes, "Today's the day. I think I'm going to pick a car." And they go to the track with a case of hats, a signed contract, and they're like, "Whoever wins the race today, we're going to
That's my car."
Oh wow, Cole Trickle's first race. There's his owner. Here's your hats. Sign
Here,
this. Like that cannot be how this works.
I know it's like he talks about it like it's like scouts.
Yeah,
in
like
a high school football
They're
stadium.
in the stands just watching.
And he says he's holding hands and kissing. He goes,
Hugging
and holding the hands. Like, what?
Kissing.
How do I get to
I'd
be a
kiss him.
team sponsor owner?
So how? let's think about that. Like they're up in like the box suite, right? And like
On
he
top
probably
of an
spent
RV.
like some of his last money just like on top of an RV.
That's what it looked like.
You're right. And he's like, and he's got sponsors, like people are coming in, and he's just like, all right, hey, no, feeling really good about today. No, they've had some great conversations with my guys.
He told him how to not burn the tires up.
Cole knows about tires now. He's like, and he's like, he's got the 2 tires in his suite that he's like, see, look what he used to do. This is what he's doing now.
And he shaved 6 seconds off
His
his
way,
time.
my way.
Yeah, so should be good. And then he crashed. He's like, oh God, and the sponsors are just like,
No.
not today, Tim.
No, he's holding hands with Mellow Yellow, and as he crashes Mellow Yellow, let's go.
Oh gosh. He's like,
hands.
come on, Cole, trickle into our hearts. Oh.
I love that. I love that mental image so much of them just in the box.
Sponsors like putting down like their free complimentary beverage. Be
Oh my
like,
God.
it's gonna be a no from me.
They have like individual like stands, like standees outside,
Yeah.
like, and kids come up to them like, "Oh, free fucking city hats!" Like, no.
Oh.
Those are for our potential sponsored
Those-
people that we're gonna pick.
We're
today.
Superflow now. Okay?
Yeah.
Those are
We're sponsored by a tampon.
I was just gonna say Superflow, the motor oil? No, the tampons.
No, you know, for super heavy flow days.
Yeah. These liners have wings. Superflow.
Just like our car.
You know what? Sometimes life happens to you fast. Okay.
See it fast. Sometimes life throws you around turn 4 and you need some wing
You
protection.
need to recover from that.
Luckily, these liners have spoilers on both sides.
Cole Trickle doing a commercial for Superflow tampons.
Don't trickle your way.
Next time you head into treacherous turn 4, don't forget your cold trickle Superflow.
Doesn't that kill the? We want to prevent the trickle. Is what we really want.
This is the only trickle we want on your Superflow. Cold trickle.
Hey,
The only trickle you should be thinking about is
they're like, what they got out was they're like, we got ourselves a sponsor. They're like, tampons. He's like, I had to hold a lot of hands to get these tampons.
he's just like throwing tampons at him.
Oh my God! How did
Panty liners.
guys? Again, this is why you listen to the Confused Breakfast. A lot of movie podcasts out there. A lot of them talk about Days of Thunder. Never once has tampons been mentioned in a Days of Thunder review.
And
So
why
super
do you
flow.
listen to this show?
Yeah.
But that is
which
why
is
I
why you
did.
turned it off.
Oh man.
Oh man! Well, then you get to this unbelievable scene of them riding in the truck, and the cops pull them over. And please help me out, because what I thought as a kid was that these were actual police officers, and that she was an actual police officer.
He was just so hot she couldn't help herself.
And they were just like, oh, we got to set Cindy up with somebody. And that they actually like pulled them over, and she was a cop, and she's like, thought the boys might like me.
I think you're a pretty girl. We have a race to get to tomorrow, and I all right, come on.
But what happens? What happens after this though? It's like they thought you might like me. It's like
I did it.
Yeah, and then so
I like redheads.
everyone. So then after that, it's
Tall-
like,
you
oh
have to be
man,
taller than me.
we got him, guys. Well, we'll wait out here while you go bang her and like
Well, tell me,
what are we doing?
Are they actual cops or no?
Are they just like
Or
that's
is this
their
fake?
that's
No,
their
I-
stripper gimmick?
maybe they knew the cop. Like two of them were actually cops because there's three of them. So technically, maybe two of them actually are cops. And then they hired a girl and they put her in an
dude,
outfit.
Come on, you cannot tell me that like actual cops would be allowed to perpetuate this, like to be a part of this.
But yeah, I mean,
but those looked like real cop cars.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Is she like? Was she purchased? And like, if he does like her, what's going to happen? And are they supporting that? Because it seems like something that cops wouldn't support.
I like to picture that he actually started dating her, and that she was at the race at Daytona, and she got to the hospital.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks later, they wouldn't let her in.
Oh my
And when-
God, Cole!
And when she walked in right when Cole was grabbing the doctor's hand and putting it in her crotch, and she's like
close-up
she's
tear.
looking through the hole in the door, and she left. That's
So,
what I like to picture.
They did it to him again. That's what she thought. I see how it goes.
I'll actually put a poll up in the Spotify on this one. Like, tell me if these were actual cops, or if this was like a made up hired stunt for like fake cops, fake cop cars with
Yeah.
all the money they got from Superflow.
For me, it seemed like it was a couple of real cops that like they knew because they've been in this county before or something, and then they hired a girl. That's how I like justified it in my head. I guess I don't know, but again, we'll go back to it. There are some things that apparently you just have to let go because they're moving on as fast as they want you to move on.
You know what it seemed like, and it was like actually my first thought, like when her tits were out, and I realized what was going on was like Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer told Robert Towne to put a scene in here where this happens, and he had to write himself out of it, and so he wrote himself out of it with Nicole Kidman being introduced, kind of like that.
Okay, like
And he's
pretty much
well,
right afterwards.
There's no reason for this scene other than Cocaine Boys, and so now I need to justify it throughout the rest of my script.
Well, we need to get some lightheartedness into this. We were just talking face to face with Buddy Brotherton about his dad dying in a fiery crash less than a year ago.
Fuck all that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
Tits.
matter. We got to get back to tits.
Yes.
This emotion's not going to do it for me.
Hey, we're
This
having
emotion
kind of a
will
moment.
not stand. Sorry.
We're having a moment, and I like the camaraderie that's happening on the bus. Like it's good. He wins his first race. Seems like sky's the limit for Cole Trickle, right? And so, but yeah, you have, or is it Buck Brotherton?
Yeah. So
And Buddy is his dad.
Buddy's
Buddy
his dad.
Brotherton's his dad. Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, that was my dad. And he's like, oh,
Really?
Buddy Brotherton was your dad? He's like, yeah, he died. So I don't know. He crashed his car, and then like
We think it was
Harry's coming
Harry's fault.
in, and he's like, oh, can we talk about it more?
Can we
No.
say how he probably had a massive heart attack before he hit the wall?
Yeah, can we justify it that way? Let's make this an awkward conversation. And like Harry's like walking back in. Yeah, we can talk more about it. Oh wait, tits are here. All right, cool.
Moonshine.
Get your story right, Buck.
Let's not talk about it again.
And good line from Robert Duvall there when he goes, distribution. This is consumption.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
pretty
great
good
line.
It's a pretty good line.
You know what? Now thinking about it, he does. Tom Cruise is having to bang this girl. It was just going through and just having it out.
Has to.
The thing's just rocking back and forth. They're all just kind of like, yeah. So should have grabbed more moonshine. And then they go back in, and he's just like, yeah, that was fun, guys. And then Buck's just like, so anyways, yeah, Dad, he just. Anyways, we aren't sure. We think it's like,
Well,
God.
dude, I really need to get this out, man.
It's fucking Cole's dong is still damp, and he's still
The dipstick is still a little wet.
They just get some trickle down.
There's a banana in those pants.
Yeah.
Like that thing was like,
come on,
that
dude.
thing's got a weird curve. Was that from the seatbelt in the car? Like, what's going on here? That's not real.
We do have to talk about, like, if you were to ask who is the face of NASCAR when it comes to Hollywood, I think a lot of people would point out like Will Ferrell, or they'd say Tom
Sure.
Cruise.
Oh.
But it's John C. Reilly. If you think about this, I'm wondering, he's Buck Brotherton in this movie. I'm wondering if he is actually the same person from Talladega Nights. Think about it. He was in this business. He grew up in it. His dad died. He was looking for a best friend after his dad died. He tried with Cole, but like obviously Cole retires after this and he gets married and he moves away, and Buck's just kind of in NASCAR living off of his dad's name, and finally he just says like, I'm going to get in with some other crews. No one wants him. They don't want that negative bad juju that comes in with him. So he just leaves the sport for a while, kind of travels around, finds himself. He comes back to the sport, but he wants to get in not based off of his name. So he changes his name obviously to Cal Naughton Jr., the junior honoring his dad still in a way, saying, hey, I'm sorry, Dad. And then, you know, like everybody changes their name for NASCAR. Clearly, Rowdy Burns, Russ Wheeler, Dick Trickle,
Chilton Dominguez.
Ricky Bobby,
Rusty
Chilton
Wallace.
Dominguez, Rusty Wallace, Kyle Petty. Yeah, right, bro.
Come on.
People change their name for NASCAR all the time. So he changes his name, gets in with his new buddy, Ricky Bobby, and there you go. I think he's the same guy.
Okay. I can buy that.
I like it.
Oil Slick.
Yeah.
Oil Slick.
Doyle Slick.
He's a good one.
Yeah. He does pretty good. You know, he's usually a top 10 finisher. So, yeah.
Well, let's move on to scene 3. So the rivalry between Cole and Rowdy intensifies throughout the season until a race at Daytona where they both are seriously injured in a bad crash. Upon recovering, they're forced to drive to dinner together to meet NASCAR president. This forms a friendship between the two. This crash is pretty nuts.
It's a brutal fucking crash.
Yeah.
But like he's also like, there's a crash coming out of turn 4. He's like, I see it, don't worry. Oh, I don't see it.
Wait, what
Fucking
happened?
smashes him, man.
So, and I think that I feel like there is some truth. We kind of hear it later on when Cole comes around. That if you have a lane and your crew is usually directing you and like, hey, take this lane, make sure you drive right through, don't break through this smoke.
Let's say go through the top because everything should roll down.
You have like top lane. You should be clear. Don't decelerate through this smoke. You need to go right through, and that's what Cole kind of mentions later on. He's like, rules say he should have been gone by then, and also if you see a crash, then go to where they are because they should be rolling down.
Yes.
Same idea. Out of your way. He should have been gone by then. And he's saying Rowdy hit the brakes, and that's why he went right into him. And so there is some good theory, I think, in that. NASCAR people tell us we're wrong. I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong.
I have a hard time believing that they wouldn't just be like, hey, everybody come to a stop, red flag. Like there's a giant crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
this is a
keep
massive
racing.
crash.
We'll figure it out.
It's not unheard of. Like I've watched some NASCAR, right? And like you do eventually get some far out leaders. You know, if there's a big crash in the pack, sure, but this is just very strange. It all happens so fast. This is maybe the one part of the movie that I'm like, man, there's no dynamics to this very pivotal scene.
Yeah.
There's no dynamics to it. Do you know what I mean by that?
I think they try and squeeze out as much as they can of any dynamic they want out of this, because like after this, right, Rooker's character Rowdy gets like pretty much CTE.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a whole big kind of plot point to the movie, which works, I guess, in the end, but they spend so much time on it. And we're just like, we get it. Like, they crash. We need to meet our love interest now. Like, let's just go.
Yeah, like it just seems like we're in the race. Everything's kind of going fine, whatever. And then, oh, by the way, there's a crash back there. You guys are coming around to it. Oh, I see it. Okay. It's like the cutaway just happens all in such a strange way here. And then there's no cut of sound. There's no relief from noise. It's just noise. And then it happens, and then we're cut to the hospital.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like I say, there's no dynamics of this very pivotal scene that's like coming through. And like you're saying, Sean, they just want to, it's like they want to get there, but I feel like this is where they could have spent a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Rather than, I don't know, what some of the stuff we have later.
Yeah. Well, we get Nicole Kidman in here. I think that's her. I think this is one of her.
It's one of her
first
man.
biggest roles, but then like her first appearance for us on the show, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I'm trickling.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I would trickle if she walked in and was my doctor.
Well, Tom Cruise was
I
trickling too, man, because this is where they
not
met.
trickle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I think Tom Cruise pretty much picked her exclusively for this.
I'ma marry her.
It's like, I want that.
I want that. I thought she was going in and out of her accent, but I think she's just in it.
I think she's just staying in
And
it.
she's just there.
Because he gets her like a kangaroo later on, and
Yeah, I
I
think
was like,
it's.
oh, okay, they're not trying to hide it.
She was 22
What?
Good Lord.
during this movie.
I can't-
22.
I can't help but see that image in my head of her leaving the divorce attorney. Have you ever seen that?
No.
After she got divorced from Tom Cruise, there's a photo from the paparazzi of her just going, yes! Like the most joy I've ever seen on someone's face that she finally got the divorce finalized from Tom Cruise.
Wow.
I have trouble not thinking of that when I'm
Yeah.
watching this movie.
That's funny.
10 years of space people, religion stuff.
Well, this is their first of 3 movies together that they did.
At least. I think,
At least 3 movies.
Eyes Wide Shut, and then I don't know the other one, but
But did you? I mean, she's good in this. Like we like her. This is kind of her breakthrough role. I think
she's one of my top 5 actors of all time. I love her so much in anything she does, and she's just unbelievably beautiful in everything, obviously, still to this day. But yeah, seeing her in this was just like blowing me away.
Yep.
Her
Holy shit.
performance is amazing in this.
Especially
Like,
when she tells him off
yeah,
later. It's really good.
it's very well done. Like everything about what her performance is in this, I think it kind of, I honestly will say, I think it kind of helps save some of this like last of the second act into the third act.
Good
Yeah.
point.
I think it helps save a lot of
Because
it.
the script wanted to be more of a drama. It seems like, anyway, to me, that's one of my flaws. But like having her in it, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Now it
okay
can
with it.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
Like she elevates all of this to an nth degree.
I love this. Like, imagine this actually happening nowadays of a patient grabbing a doctor's hand and putting it in their crotch.
Yeah.
And like that would not go over as well as this goes over.
Correct.
Like this kind of teaches you like,
And,
no,
like,
it's fine.
they're all
Don't worry
just
about
like
it.
laughing.
I
And laughing.
really enjoy them laughing. Like the kind of
Colt, this is your doctor. And they
Not
just
like,
kind of
hey,
lose
hey,
it.
hey. Not like pulling him away, just
Yeah.
laughing at him. It's like, hey, quick, stop,
she
don't
leaves
do that.
it there too. She goes,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's very interesting.
She's like,
Mr.
well,
Trickle."
this is larger. Okay. But at the same time, you're right. It would not go over
This
well.
is whatever.
This is not. Yeah. Blame it on the brain damage. I don't know. Yeah,
he did.
That's about it.
And then, like, one of my favorite scenes as a kid was them racing in the wheelchairs. I don't know, like, I don't know why, but it's just so funny to me.
First time
dude.
watching this, I'm like, they're not gonna. Oh,
Okay.
oh my god.
Okay.
That final shot where they come around the corner and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
what's going on? Hey, everybody.
Well, this is one thing that made me ask. Tim is not Rowdy's owner, team manager person,
No.
is he? Because like during the dinner, not to skip way
No,
too far, ahead,
that's where we're at, basically.
but like,
so.
or I guess skip over the rental car race. But at the same time, it's like he says, what's his name, Big John or Big Jeff?
Big John is the president of NASCAR.
Yeah,
Great
and-
reveal, by the way, when he turns around in his
Yeah.
chair. Who's that actor? The guy that plays Big John.
Oh, I can't think of his
Sorry,
name.
I don't have my computer here. I got it. Keep going, AJ.
Well, so but he says to Tim, he's like, if this is how you keep control of your drivers, he's like, maybe you should find something else you can keep control of, like used cars. And
Fred Dalton Thompson.
there you
Is
go.
that no? I think the other guy who's second on my list for punchable face, the other guy in the room,
Okay.
I think is Rowdy's owner.
Okay.
And so I think they're both in there together representing their teams
Yeah.
and their drivers, which is also strange that they would do this sort of medical examination together. It's like when we did Office Space and they had group therapy together.
Yeah.
Like that's not how that works. I don't believe that you can see the brain scans of another patient
Right.
just because you're in the same sport. Like I don't think
They
that's
were
how that
involved in the
works.
same accident together. Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
like
I don't
in
think that's how that works.
Happy Gilmore. Why is Shooter McGavin in this like meeting where they're reprimanding
Right,
Happy
yeah,
Gilmore?
right.
Right. Like, why are they doing this? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's very strange, I think, and where they're at in their health and status and everything, and reporting on like what's going to happen. I don't know. It just seems very strange. It's all there just to have a little bit more attention, but that does seem a little bit lazy to me. Do you guys like this?
Yes.
The rental car race?
Yes.
You do.
I mean, imagine the rental people being like, the fuck?
I want to
Yeah,
know
you-
what happens when they leave the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at this point,
They get a
they
cab.
kind of have to be like, "Hey, Big John, now that we had a great dinner and all, we need a ride."
We got it out of our system. So
Like wheelchair racing and rental car racing. Racing's just in these boys' bones.
In these
wow.
They just can't help but race.
And by the way, it's like since you agree that I'm not going to let you drive this car,
And you
you
agree.
agree that you're not going to let me drive this car, even though I've been driving it.
They've been driving for miles, and Tom Cruise looks content as can be.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thanks, man. Thanks
It's
for
like-
driving, dude. I didn't feel like it.
Like he didn't expect this, and like he didn't think this in that moment of like, I'm not letting him take me up to the door, up to the valet. I'm not getting out of the passenger seat of valet. Oh God. He's not sitting there. That's not him dwelling and ruminating on this. It's like he's literally like, what are we doing here? It's like, we're gonna have a drive off
Yeah.
with rental cars, Ford Tauruses. Like
versus Chevy Impala.
the most like weird basic 90s cars.
That's what I love so much about this is those two just shitty cars just going from like 1 second they're on a street, the next second they're driving through the ocean
Yeah.
on the beach.
On
It
the
is
beach.
pretty funny of them cutting back and forth.
And the music change.
Yeah.
The them sitting there, he's in quiet, crumpling his cigarette thing.
Yeah.
Just a big fan. I am a big fan. I am a big fan of this. I love this scene.
It's very funny. Like you could honestly, I think what makes it for me is how uncomfortable Tim is. Like
Yes.
Randy Quaid. He does this very well. He's so uncomfortable.
I do
love
like
that.
their like mutual like understanding after it too. It's like, yeah, it's traffic. Yeah. And they smile at each other. I like that a lot.
It does seem like they kind of squashed it and kind of like they aren't. It's not like they're friends, but at the same time they are. There's like a respect there.
Yeah.
It's like a true rival,
They had
not
to-
like a angry.
They
like,
had to get out this like competitive negative energy towards
Yeah.
each other, and then now they're fine.
I don't know.
Because they're men.
I don't know, man.
shake hands.
This is just weird to me, though. The fact that they're trying to imply that these guys are actually like really good friends at this point. In some ways, the movie does try to imply that, and there's
think?
no
Yeah.
way that they can do that after this moment. Like they've been through a serious thing together, and then they like became friends, and now there's like we're going to stay at your house. We're like bringing our wives and girlfriends together to hang out, and we're and you're gonna need to race my car because I'm dependent on you to save my family. It's like that's not. I don't necessarily buy that.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because they just don't take the time to show it. I would have loved to have had them actually have a conversation to be like, "Hey, man, like I had you all wrong, dude." Like, yeah, like something like that instead of just
yeah. I had you pegged wrong.
See, I get it though. Like that's the stuff that they included with like every other scene that I didn't want in every other scene. You know what I mean? Like they did the whole fucking stupid car crash racing thing, and like Okay, yeah, they're friends now. Fine, I buy it.
Fine,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's fine. I like both these actors a lot. We were good.
Yeah, I feel like in the end it's no, Cole, you ended my career,
Yes.
so I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
Like, how about
Why
that?
are you here?
Yeah,
Why are
what
you
do
at my house?
Want?
Oh,
Like,
Tombstone 4.
Okay, then
wow.
I apologize. I don't have my normal computer in
fine.
front of me,
It's
but
fine.
maybe Jarrett was the one that messed up.
oh,
I don't believe
I'm just
that.
going to throw that out there that Jarrett perhaps messed up.
lay off of me, starving.
Lay off,
Jeez.
Jarrett. Just kidding, buddy. Scene 4. Cole begins a romantic relationship with Dr. Claire Lewicki while he continues to recover. Dold hires another hotshot rookie, Russ Wheeler, to fill Cole's seat until Cole returns. When he returns, he's having trouble adapting and is harassed by Russ Wheeler.
Okay, like Carrie Elways in intro into this. Love Carrie Elways, obviously. But he's like, oh, I'm just sorry I won't be able to drive it like you. And like he's on the phone or whatever. He's like, yeah. He just takes his hand and brings it down to his cock. It's like that's how he meets new people now.
That's just what he does anymore.
He just thinks everyone's a stripper or a call girl. Or
He's
whatever.
just like this guy's handsome. He's like, God, they are. All right, now it's getting weird. Like they're doing it with guys now. Real comedians, anyways. Yeah,
All right.
feel
All
that?
right, yep.
All right,
It's big.
All right,
It's big. It's
Yeah.
crooked, but it's big.
You that big? Huh? You got a big seat to fill there. Damn it.
But this is truly why this podcast was brought about and what we do here. This is a Humanize the Goon situation, right? With Russ Wheeler.
Sure.
Okay.
Because like he is my punchable face. Like
Yeah.
like he's one of the reasons that it took me forever to come around on Carrie Elways. Like he's probably the reason I never watched Princess Bride because I hated him so much.
always
in
played
this
villains
movie.
after
Yes.
that, yeah.
Dude, I hated him. I hated his face in this movie, but he's doing exactly what Cole Trickle did when he came in to the Cole came in and said, "Ha, I'm gonna fuck with Rowdy Burns.
Yeah.
Because I'm a young hotshot." And Cole's this superhero who we love, but then Russ comes in and is like, "Well, this is my only shot, man. Like I really got to take my shot."
And
Yeah.
they need a driver. Like there's a lot of money
He
in
helps
this
keep
now.
their team alive.
Superflow, dude. We got to keep it going.
And he's really good. So now he's bumping into Cole Trickle just like Cole was bumping into Rowdy,
Yeah.
but it's bad now. He's all over me.
It's basically Cobra Kai.
Everything is Cobra Kai.
Everything is either Karate Kid or Cobra Kai at this point, guys. But you're right. Like they bring him in. We need a replacement. We can't just stop selling tampons.
Cole, your brain
So,
fucking doesn't work, dude.
Yeah, like
we need a driver.
We don't know how long you're going to be out, so
You don't
we
even
have
care.
Yeah, like
you're busy sneaking into your girlfriend's apartment and filling it with flowers and balloons
Yeah.
illegally.
Yeah.
weird ass.
Yeah, that's weird, dude.
Fucking weird, dude.
It's just creepy. It's a stalkerish. Okay, how'd you get the key? We don't know.
Superflow.
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 The only
There's
key
like
you need.
three fucking boxes of tampons. It's like, yeah, I get those.
Yeah,
It's
We're
sent to my house.
worried about leaky apartments. You should have used Superflow.
Should've used Superflow.
Only thing that'll keep trickle out.
It'll,
Wait, what?
it'll fill every hole and crack you got.
What is going on?
Tampons. Anyways, Superflow. No, Russ Wheeler though he is oh man, yeah. Appreciate you stepping in and
Seems
doing
really
that.
nice.
Seems like a nice young guy. Like it's not like Cole just aged 6 years over this like either. So he's young too. I don't know. It's the young hotshot thing. Let's just redo that.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Dude,
Okay.
they had the chance and they could have taken it. Rush Wheeler.
Yeah,
Rush Wheeler.
Come on, that's like the best driver name in the
that
world.
would be good.
God
Yeah.
damn
Rush
it.
Wheeler, dude.
I want
Russ
it.
Wheeler.
Wheels Rusher.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Can we so I was wondering about when to bring this up. I feel like this is the best time because now we have Cole coming back in to NASCAR, right? And this whole time it's during like the getting ready for the races and stuff. You hear an announcer like over the intercom. Like it's supposed to be over the intercom. You can kind of tell, right?
Yeah.
It's got that intercom vibe. It's like, oh, we got Rowdy Burns is very excited to be having up in the first time. Okay, cool.
Treacherous turn 4.
Treacherous turn 4. And like he's talking about Rowdy Burns like in the beginning and stuff, right? Then you think about it, and you're like, So these guys are hearing everything that this announcer is talking about. And like you have this announcer, this would be like a TV announcer at this point. Like if it's Talladega Nights, it's a TV announcer commentating. No, this is an intercom that everyone can hear on the infield. And he's sitting there talking about, boy, I sure hope Cole's going to be doing okay after that horrific wreck he just went through. Hopefully he's not still scared to death about climbing into that car. Thanks, guy. It's like, and just imagine like Cole just sitting there listening like,
He's
Well,
just about ready to
okay.
strap in.
well, I was. Okay, now that you put it that way,
They have
fuck
to
me,
be
I
on the
guess.
same radio channel as the actual radio. It's like, well, there's no other channel, so
Sorry,
you're
man.
gonna have to listen to yourself and me and that guy. Yeah.
Just commentating on everything bad, and it's like, what else is this guy talking about? He's like, well, looks like Russ Wheeler and Cole had a little bit of an altercation down there. I hope they aren't getting into it. It's like, stop talking about us, you dick. It's like, where are you?
It's on top of an RV somewhere with
also-
a microphone. Ah.
Understandably too, I guess, because these things are loud, but like the really bad ADR all around, especially when they're in the car. Like he says, like, son of a bitch, and he's just like, oh, a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, his mouth does not move whatsoever.
There's a few times where it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like I can get past it, but it's a little noticeable.
I hear you.
Honestly, Russ Wheeler, I think if we want to commit to it, he can be my punchable face. But
He is mine.
he is yours.
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to commit to this?
You going to commit to Russ
Who
Wheeler, or
who
do you got a different one?
Do you got anybody else?
I got Russ Wheeler.
Russ Wheeler's mine. Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go.
Cool.
Then I'm not even going to hit the button.
Don't. I don't
Like,
want
I feel
it.
like I feel like we kind of wasted it.
Yeah,
should have
it's
hit
a bit
it.
trite now. Huh?
It all seems kind of
Seems
trite.
kind of trite.
It all seems kind of trite. I'm
So-
going to do this instead.
Okay,
There you go.
nice.
Just-
We
nice
hit 'em.
little, yeah. Save some time there.
We do have to talk about what was the movie we recently talked about where it was Twister, where like Helen Hunt could have chemistry with anyone except for
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton. That's what's so surprising to me about the fact that Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise did date, and
You don't
I think
see
we're
it?
married. I can see it at times, and I know that they weren't necessarily dating yet, but at this point, but this scene in the bedroom with the sugar packets, like just feels so weird to me, dude. Like, first of all,
Like, where did they come from? You
I
just
just
carry
have
2 sugar
sugar
packets around me? Well, yeah, I'm trying to focus on my drafting.
it's funny because he's
That's
like,
the
yeah,
move
me
right
and Harry,
there,
I want to show you something. Me and Harry have been talking about this thing called drafting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, do you think that's what inspired Armageddon and the animal crackers?
Oh, no.
Do you think?
100%.
It had to have.
Bruckheimer is just like, I'm gonna keep that for later.
He's like,
I'm gonna do this.
he's
later.
like, what's something else that's sweet that I could send up a woman's leg into her crotch?
But picture Armageddon. Picture that chemistry in that moment of the
Sure.
the dumbass animal crackers. Like, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
yeah.
In this, Nicole Kidman is just kind of like, oh yeah. Everybody knows about drafting, dude. I'm kind of a scientist, like
It's
doctor,
weird
but
you
whatever.
don't know. Like, drafting doesn't only exist in race
stock
cars.
You know when you're on the interstate and you're behind a semi?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of the same thing, Cole.
Working on this thing called drafting, it's like, you've never heard of it, huh?
You know how you ride your motorcycle a lot? I'm sure you can feel the wind changes depending on if you're close behind something or not.
It's like,
Oh,
man,
that's
I
weird.
wish Harry would have explained it that way to me. Now I get it. Like,
Me and Harry
Also-
did this exact same thing with my naked leg in bed.
yeah.
Also,
yeah.
that tickles, and I don't like to be touched after fucking.
Yeah, it's
So
like-
just leave me alone.
That's
please.
what it felt like. That's exactly what it felt like.
It's like, what are you doing with that sugar? It's like, you can't put that up there, okay?
There's a super flow.
There's super. Do you know what sugar will do if you put that there? You're asking for it.
Oh man.
I don't say it, it's fine.
You said it in the interview, but this is like the most ridiculous thing to me. The fact that it's one of my favorite scenes that he does go back out and change my tires.
Yeah.
Change my tires. But Cole, the race is over. And when he goes out and hits the car, it's pretty satisfying to me.
It is.
But it's also like, this is the end of your career.
No,
your
you just-
career is over.
you ended everything.
Yes.
This isn't like you after a hockey game dropping gloves or something,
Yeah.
right? That's not what this is. But that's what they chalk it up to be. And it's
That pesky Russ was
Yeah.
getting on his nerves.
It's like, it's not you just losing your job because you totaled both of the owner's cars. It's the fact that you're going to be banned for reckless endangerment of another
homicide.
driver.
Yes.
And yes, attempted vehicular homicide, basically, of another like professional driver. NASCAR, Big John isn't going to dinner.
No.
He wants you out.
Yeah,
You're done, dude.
Or like how the MLB announcers be like, oh, if he hits him one more time, that there's probably going to be a fight, you know?
Yeah.
Where that happens in that sport. Like it just doesn't happen here.
The
Like,
self-policing.
and they don't use the bat to fight each other. Like
Yeah.
he's using his fucking car
Dude.
to almost kill him.
Yeah.
That shot, though, that stationary camera of Russ Wheeler coming around the corner and Cole's car coming straight out
Oh, yeah.
is so awesome.
Dude,
and
it all looks really good.
Yeah, the up close of Russ where he goes, ah! Like,
So honestly,
he hit him right where he was in the car.
it's the car crashes that are the best part of the car driving, probably. Like,
That's
and
why you watch NASCAR, by the way.
yeah, obviously,
It's just
everybody
like-
just wants
yeah.
to see the crash
Right?
until somebody like gets severely hurt.
you
You're
don't
like,
want that.
ugh.
No.
But,
It still was pretty fucking
I
awesome.
mean, it was
Still.
cool to watch. I'm glad I saw it firsthand, but the car crashes are like the best part of it. Like when he's coming into the pit and he's like, oh no, that's not good, and like the guy nudges him or something,
Yeah.
goes right in the wall. You're like, that is intense.
Pretty awesome.
The opposite of that is watching a car in somebody's rearview mirror go like across the other way. Like,
I like that a lot.
Well, like that shitty part too, where
It's so cheesy.
Russ pulls up in front of him and is blocking
Yeah.
him like that.
Yeah.
that
Come
fucking
on.
I would get pretty fucking pissed too.
Are you telling me that Cole didn't do that to Rowdy at some point and we just didn't
True,
show it?
true.
You know he did.
I think part of what makes what makes Russ my punchable face though is a lot of his mannerisms and like probably the ADR like you're talking about, Sean. Because when he's like, son of a bitch, but that moment when he's about to get hit or something and he's like, ah!
It's pretty good.
I laugh every time. I laughed out loud every time and almost woke up my son watching that moment because it was so funny to me.
And Cole just goes,
Like he just took a big shit. I mean, kind of did.
So after this, Russ Wheeler kind of went on to, he was disenchanted with racing. He was, it kind of fell out of the limelight a little bit, and got into weather a bunch, and it really kind of got into like storm chasing.
Yeah.
And so he kind of joined up with this team, got a grant, got a bunch of money to build these Dorothy ripoffs, and
but like
became-
really fast cars.
yeah,
Like he knew a
great
lot about
slick
driving
cars.
fast.
Like he's every time they had car trouble, they were good because he knew.
because he
you know?
actually knew about cars.
And then he turned into whatever his name is in Twister.
And then he died.
Yeah.
He got picked up
That's
by
how
an
it-
F7.
Yep, that's how it happened.
Carrie always definitely has like almost like a deeper toned voice. And I think he does a good job like with his voice in his acting roles. Actually, I think it's probably an overlooked thing with Carrie Elwes. But can you imagine him like in this role with one of his more normal like accents, where like Robin Hood Men in Tights or
like Saw.
he's just like, and he's just like, or him driving past Cole like he does in Twister. Like just
I can imagine it.
Not
squinty
supposed to.
eyes and just being like, oh yes, I'll just pass you on the right. Oh, huh. It's just like it would. I think it would be better.
Yep.
I think it'd be a better character
You're not
altogether.
supposed to cut through the chains. You're supposed to cut through our feet.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Well, let's get the final scene here, boys. So scene 5, Cole loses his sponsors from poor performance. After further examination, Rowdy Burns needs to have brain surgery. Rowdy asks Cole to run his car in the Daytona 500. Cole overcomes and wins the race with a little help from Tim and the rest of the crew.
Okay, what a fucking baby. Seriously, at this point, like shit's going bad for him, and he's got his girlfriend in the car, another rental car,
Yeah.
and then like gets cut off by somebody and just
Taxi
starts driving into him and shit, scaring the fuck out of Nicole. And like what a baby. Like at this point, like I get like taking some steam off. Like I like to go for a drive just by myself whenever something bad happens, but I deal with it. I sit there and cry by myself. I don't nudge other people and fucking try and murder people.
I like to think that was Nicole Kidman's car. or something.
I do too.
And like
I
from
do
from the track or something, or from wherever it must have been the track. And like he just says, "No, I'll drive." No. After that whole display, no. And he's just like, no, it's fine. I'll drive. I'm fine. And then they get up, and it's, I mean, honestly, the cabbie nudging him, like rubbing him,
Rubbin's racing, bro.
Rubbin's racing.
racing, buddy.
So I guess it just was like a PTSD moment. It's like, Rubbin, oh!
That's the moment that
Rubbin's
sets him
racing. Ah!
up. Rubbin, no, I'm racing.
Ah!
I say that's the most quoted line for me in this movie, though. Let me out the car, Cole. Let me out the car. Let me out the car, Cole.
The
me out the
car.
car, Cole.
The car, Cole.
Anytime I want to get out of the car, that's what I say. Let me out of the car, Cole.
The car. Let me out of the car.
And she like manhandles him.
Yeah.
Too. She's like, bah, bah, like shoves him against the wall and stuff. I love it.
This again, I think this is
bitch.
a saving moment. I think for some of this, you know,
The slow
third
parts,
act.
yeah.
I think she just kind of saves these moments with this performance of kind of reading him the riot act on this. Is like it's denial. Like you're just living denial, and like the fact that you're going to work this out with like 40 other egomaniacs on the track who, you know, is ludicrous. It's just, and she just lays it out so well. But then I think about it, I'm like, where's she walking to? There's nothing around. They're
Isn't
under
that her
no-
apartment or
Yeah,
something? Like where are
They're
they?
in like a
Where are they
parking lot garage thing.
Yeah.
Structure.
Yeah.
She's just gonna go.
She about lets off, and it's like when she finally gets out, it's like they're in a completely different place than where she was trying to open the door of this. And you're just like, that's a continuity error. I'm sorry. Like it's tough, but and it's being picky, but it bothered me every time I watched it happen. I was like, okay, whatever.
This is definitely the best car, though, the mellow yellow car.
I
you
think the
think?
mellow yellow car is my favorite car. I think it is. I thought you were going to like the Superflow.
I do like the Superflow. I like the pink in that. That was
Yeah.
my second favorite one when I had all the Matchbox cars. But the mellow yellow one, like that's a cool car. That made me, that old mellow yellow logo, something about those colors, that greenish and the red of the mellow yellow, like
the whole logo on the hood of that car with like the line work underneath.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
and that was
Exxon was my favorite.
what Rowdy's car was. The mellow yellow was actually like I think Kyle Petty ended up driving that, or someone in NASCAR ended up driving a mellow yellow car
really?
after this movie was over, and it was awesome.
Hell yeah.
But there was never like the City or the Superflow or the Hardys. Maybe there was a Hardys one. I highly doubt that, but
I remember having that Matchbox.
oh,
or
we
that-
all did.
Yeah.
You did, listener. You had it. I know you
had it.
You had it. I know you were like, I'm Rowdy Burns.
Well, he goes and visits Rowdy, and like he's like, I don't need to go to the hospital. Hell no, ain't gonna happen. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm great. I feel great. Look at me. I'm getting real good at pool. And he's like, Rowdy, you've been
My family's crying in the other room.
Rowdy.
all the
Before
time.
I got here, you were using a baseball bat as a cue. So
Yeah.
like something. You're bad. You're bad.
Why is this baseball bat here?
Yeah.
Why I pulled it out of nowhere. That like you were using this, weren't you, Rowdy?
Yeah, it's
you
weird.
were trying to chalk up a baseball bat.
You got to go to the hospital, buddy.
And it's like, by the way, take out that bandage from your head. You don't need it anymore. Like
How
It's
much
holding my
time has
brains in.
passed?
yeah.
How much time has passed at this point?
But I always wish they would give a little bit more about what's really going on with Rowdy. I feel like sometimes in these movies, it just gets to be a little bit too subtle about some of the exposition, some of the descriptions and stuff of maybe what's going on with him. Like you kind of got to pay attention. Like he's losing his memory. He's losing his like thoughts like that because he doesn't remember where his biggest trophy came from, you know, but it doesn't, I had to like kind of hone in on that. I don't know. Did you guys even catch that, or
Well,
did it even like? Does it
get
resonate? I guess, or am I just being picky about it?
It is an excuse for them to just be like, and you could see it coming anyway. We didn't really need this, I don't think, but like just for Cole to get his shit together and then like, oh, use my car because you're my buddy now. You
Yeah.
know, like there's
It's
that.
all it was.
There's that aspect to it, but like they hint at it earlier too, where like he starts getting seasick or whatever, and like Cole goes into his bathroom. He's like, "Oh, did you puke in there too?" He's like, "No, I just got done taking a shit. Like you're the one's fucked up."
Yeah.
But that's like the only instance we get besides when he does finally go to the hospital of the CTE pretty much setting in.
Yeah, but then it's weird because then they're like, oh, cool, here's your catalyst coal to get back and to do something good and win this race. But then, like, does Rowdy survive the brain surgery? Do we even know?
Yeah.
Like,
we don't really care.
No, and you don't.
He
and-
survives and he gets into rock climbing, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
It's a whole big
the whole
thing.
thing.
It's a whole big thing.
Yeah, they moved to
let's not-
Colorado or Alaska, whatever.
But like this movie's cheeseball enough to have like the final moment of like Rowdy Burns in a wheelchair going, man, thanks so much, dude. You really saved my family. Like he wheels down the track.
I was
after
just
he
gonna
wins.
say, like,
they
in a-
don't even have that.
In a hospital gown and the same bandage on his head, and then like,
And the doctors are chasing
and they're
him.
like,
Oh,
he's like,
yeah,
it's like it's him up on top of an RV, just like
with his ass hanging out
How'd
the
your
back.
surgery go? Didn't do it. No, yeah, I ran off. So.
What surgery? I can't remember.
how do you get up there on a wheelchair? Like,
He's a good driver.
man, he's a good driver. He could do anything.
Well, speaking of the mellow yellow car, and we get the second scene, I think, of Robert Duvall, Harry, talking to his car, and he's like rubbing it, and then like you can see like a little oil leaking or whatever. It's like he's literally making the car wet.
Yeah,
Talking to it at this point.
Got to be.
he's got to go get a Superflow. Car's trickling.
Plug it right up, man.
Superflow would have fixed that just to so quick.
Too bad we don't got them anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah, we don't have those.
Oh, we had so many. Now we got none.
Well, and do you even understand? Like, I still to this day cannot understand. So they imply that they stole an engine from Tim.
Right.
They imply that no one knows about this. We took an engine and we're going to use it. But then, like, and then you even get Tim kind of like side eye stinking him, being like, "Did they take my engine?" But then at the end, Tim clearly pretty much admits he's like, "That's my engine and that's my car."
Yeah, he gave it to him, right?
Yeah,
Did he?
Tim, yeah.
But I just whatever.
Why-
I don't even want
why
to talk
lie
to it
about
anymore.
it is what you're
yeah,
asking?
like,
Yeah.
but why everyone's like, no one knows we took this, but Tim's like, no one knows I gave it to him, and like, it's very strange.
It's all about it's almost like it's all about keeping the secret from Cole to a degree, because
or the Russ Wheeler and the rest of that team or something.
yeah, or like
Yeah.
maybe keeping it from the other teams or from all this other. It just doesn't seem like it's necessary. It could have been a more redeeming moment for Tim to be like, well, where'd you get it? Well, you'd never guess. And then they both look over at Tim, and he's
Tim
like,
goes, "See, I love you."
you know, gives the approval nod.
Yeah.
It's like I don't love it, but I respect you.
So,
damn
like,
it.
how much money does this motherfucker have if he's like betting on Russ Wheeler in that car? And like, does he own all of these
He owns
guys?
those two.
He
teams.
owns those two teams.
Okay, so is that
You
legal?
gotta, I mean, yeah, it is actually.
Okay.
It is.
That
It
ain't-
is legal. It is a thing. Like owners have different drivers on different teams. It's kind of like. Didn't you kind of say that on like F1?
F1 does that. Yeah, each team has two different drivers.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
so
like buying a lot of lotto tickets to
Yeah.
increase your chances.
Yeah.
yeah, you got it. Sure. That's but
Solid.
it is. It's like, oh, they both drive for this guy or this team. They're both a part of something motorsports, right? Like whatever it is, they just have different sponsors. But in the end, it did seem unnecessary. So I do see where you're coming from there. I just think it ends kind of abruptly.
It really does.
Yeah.
Again, what happened with Rowdy? You're just like, well, he's going into brain surgery and he's got 60% that he could make it out without any issues. And we don't care anymore. And he gets out of his car. It's like he kisses his girl and we're done.
Well, no, we have to run.
60% chance Rowdy will make it. There's only a 30% chance of that.
Yes.
Even this running. Did you notice that they sped that up? They sped up
Yes.
Tom Cruise and Robert Duvall running. I never noticed that as a kid at all.
It
But
is-
they wanted Tom Cruise was like, we got to run faster than that.
It's so cheesy, but
Race ya.
fuck, man. Like,
What a
whatever,
great
it
freeze
works.
frame, though. Are you
Yes.
feeling it?
Oh,
That
they're
is
both
the
just
perfect freeze frame.
Mouth smiling. Yes, it is funny.
You got to be upset if you're Robert Duvall, though, like more upset than Reese Witherspoon in Election about that freeze frame. Because if you freeze frame at the wrong time, Tom Cruise will always look good running, no matter where he's at in his stride. But then you have Robert Duvall, who unfortunately got caught in this whole thing, where he's just like.
It's all right.
Like you're just mid step and like your arms are close to your side. Like you're just,
Instead of this.
yeah, instead of a good running man, you're just like, oh.
Well, Robert Duvall runs gut first.
There's dick first, there's gut first, there's nose first.
Ugh.
You're right. He is. It's great though. It's good camaraderie. I think it's a positive ending. It's abrupt for me.
Where to? Victory Lane.
Oh, daddy.
Setting up Days of Thunder 2.
Yeah.
Never happened. I got nothing else, boys. What
I
about you?
don't think so.
Well, we've dissected this with a modern eye. It's time to give us a modern day rating. AJ, what do you got to say about this, man?
You know what? I had a lot of fun watching this movie. I really did. I think the critics were too critical, and I think some of the fans were like a lot of the reviews I was picking through. You really get two different types of people. Either they watch the movie because they're NASCAR watchers, they're NASCAR guys. And then you've got other ones that are like, I just want to see a Tom Cruise movie about him going fast, you know. And I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I think it's a fun movie. I don't know enough about racing for it to like ruin it for me, but I know enough to appreciate it and some of the stuff that they did do in this movie. So Robert Duvall might be my favorite performance of him that I've seen to date. And Tom Cruise is great. Nicole Kidman saves a good portion of the movie. And I think you got some great support character actors. Yeah, I think I enjoy it. I enjoy the messages. I'm gonna give this a 7.15.
Damn, bro. 7.15. Sean, what about you?
Yeah, I love all the actors in this so much. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman is utterly breathtaking in this. Michael Rooker is fantastic. Like, you can't get a much better cast in this. John C. Reilly, we didn't really talk about him much.
Didn't get a lot, but yeah.
Really, really good to see him in this. Yeah, I love Tony Scott's movies. I love the way they look, and I love all of the car action that we do get in this movie. It's just unfortunately bogged down by unnecessary like exposition and like these talking scenes, like whatever about talking scenes, but like in a Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer movie about fucking NASCAR, we didn't need a Robert Towne script, to be honest. Like we didn't need any of that in this. We just needed it to be schlocky and fun, and the hero wins at the end. That's all we needed. This movie's like 2 hours and 5 minutes. I think it's way too long for what it needs to be. But it is a really fucking fun time, and it's 100% watchable and rewatchable. I'm gonna give it a 6.899.
So that's what's wild about this is that sometimes when you haven't seen it, you like it generally better than the person who had the nostalgic vibes.
Sure.
And I think that is how today is, because like I liked it so much as a child. And I held it on such a high pedestal that now I'm able to watch this and be like, God, geez, it's not as good as I remember it. Gotcha. Kind of like Top Gun, to tell you the truth. I like Top Gun better, and I ultimately didn't like Top Gun that much on our rewatch because it's not necessarily that great of a movie, and that's how I feel about this. It's very fun and it's awesome to watch, but it's not quite Top Gun for me. And that's because I was able to pull away that nostalgia. So I'm a 6.1. We got to go to Starling. He says, how do I ask this? What in the hell is this movie about? The short answer, of course, is NASCAR racing. But if that was the case, shouldn't I glean some insight into the sport? There's a token explanation about stock cars and their role in leveling the playing field. We learn that the driver is the differentiator, along with a few throwaway lines about different types of turns. This feels like someone just watched Top Gun, knew absolutely nothing about NASCAR, and thought, let's make Top Gun on the track. No way that expression was not in the pitch meeting. The love subplot is practically a carbon copy of Top Gun. She's a smoking hot professional in a male-dominated field. She can hold her own with Tom Cruise for a physical, non-emotional relationship, though in this case, their relationship just adds an unnecessary screen time. Even the lovemaking scene is a Top Gun knockoff, a dark silhouette with a zoom in on French kissing, followed with everyone looking hot on motorcycles. That's exactly what happens in Top Gun.
Tony Scott.
Yep.
True romance. chance. Yeah.
So it's barely about racing, and it's definitely not about friendship. The movie opens the same as Necessary Roughness. Someone convinces a former leader to take a chance on a non-conventional athlete, except that movie didn't feel like we had chopped out a few scenes from the beginning. Randy Quaid just shows up talking to Robert Duvall as if we, the audience, had any context as to what was happening at all. The same thing with Tom Cruise. He's just there, and we have no idea why he's supposed to be so good. He just is, and we're going to build a team around him despite his lack of NASCAR racing experience. But this is not even about building a great team or watching Maverick, Cole Trickle, a.k.a. worst character nickname ever, learn to harness his natural talent as a driver reaching stock car excellence. Cole is good. Just trust us. Like Maverick, Cole gets grounded 2/3 into the movie, but finds his way back into the cockpit by the end, winning through unconventional maneuvers. Like many aspects of this movie, we must accept that Cole just is better with little story or explanation. This was at the beginning of Tom Cruise's rising star, and you can tell he's there for popularity, and Robert Duvall is there for the talent. There's no need for smart editing or story development. We have Tom Cruise, the Top Gun guy. Have you seen him? Of course, when the movie ended, Paramount Plus queued up Top Gun as the suggested next movie to watch. I wish this movie made me love racing more, but it did make me love Robert Duvall more. I hate to say it, but I'm a 5.75 on this one. So
Okay.
I am shocked I'm the highest one out of all four of us.
it's sometimes it just hits you different, right?
Yeah.
So we are a 6.47. And if we're going to look at our ratings, guys, it's going to take me one quick second here because I don't have my computer.
That's okay. I just want to bring a visual to everyone's head. Is there's a big perfect meeting, like pitch meeting that's happening. Tom Cruise is there. Tony Scott, Town is there. Everybody's there, right? And then they get done. They're like, "What do you think?" And then everyone's looking around, and Tom Cruise just says, basically Top Gun with NASCAR.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's good. Yeah.
That sounds great. Yeah, $50 million.
Yeah.
That ties us exactly with Airborne at a 6.47. Airheads and Tremors are slightly better. Out Cold and Roadhouse slightly worse is how we feel about that.
Yes.
With a modern day rating.
Yes.
Fine.
Oh, you know what? One more thing too. If she wasn't a doctor, maybe she's like a mechanic or something, then we didn't need any of this CTE hospital stuff.
No problem.
No.
Then we could have avoided all
Then
that.
we would have
And,
had-
like stay. I wanted this movie to
Stay.
like stay on like the track and like the garages and shit.
Yeah.
That's where I wanted
It
it.
basically would have been gone in 60 seconds then.
Yeah, love it.
Nice.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks to our Patreon members at patreon.com/confusedbreakfast for voting on this. This was our monthly vote for them. We gave them some Tom Cruise movies. We'll have new votes coming for you next month. Please join in on the fun. Next week, we start May of Swayze Uncaged.
Let's go, baby.
That is Patrick Swayze and Nick Cage movies. We got Donnie Darko, Dirty Dancing, The Outsiders, National Treasure, and Face Off. And if you are new to the podcast, go back this time last year, Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, come on.
Man, not quite the redemption that it had for me with The Thing. Still a fun movie and fun episode to go revisit. Thank you for visiting us here in the studio. If you're checking us out on YouTube, we really do appreciate it. By the way, you can catch us on the social media. Just search for Confused Breakfast, guys. Anywhere on social media, Confused Breakfast. By all means, please hit that subscribe button while you're listening to the podcast, because a lot of people don't even subscribe to the podcast that they listen to. If you're doing that too, leave us 5 stars. If you're subscribing, guys, leave us a review. Leave us 5 stars. Check it out.
Go to confusedbreakfast.com and see the merch that we have. You can buy some shirts. You can get some stickers. You can get some hats. Believe you can even sponsor a race car. Just put our logo on there. You can buy it.
I want that race car.
Go to confusedbreakfast.com as well to see the ratings of the movies that we have covered. See our individual ratings as well as the shows. Overall, I appreciate you and love you so much. Thank you. Goodbye.
We are produced by the Upload Media Group in Cedar Rapids. We got Logan on the controls. Learn more at uploadmediagroup.com.
He's dabbing.
And we are at the Cloud 10 iHeart Podcast Network. Learn more at cloud10.fm. Support our sponsors. That's it. Goodbye.
Bye.
Nah.